It will probably pick you up. If it doesn't, I'm going to repeat it. So this goes up 2, and this goes up 2, right? And this goes up 2, and this goes up 2. So you're saying that would get me a slope of -2. No, there's nothing wrong with this. This is why we're doing it, right? That was your thinking, right? What do people think of Suchman's thinking? And I'm not trying to put you down, right? This is why we need to have this discussion. Because that makes perfect sense. Everything's a 2. So it's got a slope of 2. Right? Are we okay with that? Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. Okay. Anybody else want to talk? Everybody agrees it's B? Is it B? Okay, let's look at it. 0, -2 would be right there, correct? 2, 0 would be right there, correct? How far up did I go? This is -2. How far up did I go? 2. How far that way did I go? 2. Slope is rise over run, isn't it? So it's 2 over 2. 2 over 2 is what? 1. What do I need a slope of? -2. So it can't be B. Okay, so we've eliminated B. Who else would like to take a crack at it? Michael. Michael thinks it might be D. Now, how could we prove it? We could graph it. 0, 8. Everyone cool? 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool? Okay, how far down did I go? From 8 to 4. 8 to 4 is 2. -4. How far that way did I go? 2. -4 divided by 2 is what? -2. And that's what I needed. Everybody good? How else could I have done it without a graph? Can anybody tell me another way I could have done this without a graph? Anybody? I could have done y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Mr. Myers, where do I get x's and y's? What are those? X's. What are those? Y's. 8 minus 0 over 4 minus 2. Right? Oh, sorry, idiot. 8 minus 4, y minus y over 8 minus 4 over 0 minus 2. 8 minus 4 is 4. 0 minus 2 is -2. And I get it that way. Everybody cool? Okay. The next question is another graphing question. It's a little hard to see. I'm going to shrink it down. You will recognize this graphing question from one of your reviews. Again, talk to your neighbor. How are you going to find out which of these 4 is that? There's a short, easy way to do it, and then there's a longer way to do it. Talk to your neighbor. See if you can sort it out. Maria thinks it is B. Oops, it didn't circle, but okay, Y. Okay, so Maria has noticed that we have a Y-intercept of 6. So she has immediately eliminated A because A goes through 5. Awesome. So we're cool that it could be B because B is 6. Why did you know, Maria, that it was going through 6? Pardon me? Okay. Everybody's happy with the 6? All right. So what else do we know in that form? We know slope. Where's the slope? It's negative 3 over 4. Is that a negative slope?
No.
Because I went up, which is positive, and that way, which is positive. So can it be B? No. But you're halfway there. That's the problem with multiple choice, right? If you had described this word for word to me, well, it's going through 6 because 6 is the y-intercept or something like that, would you have gotten a mark? Yeah, because that's right. But on multiple choice, can I give you a mark? No. So we can't be B because the slope is wrong. So now we're down to C and D. They are both negative, correct? So now all we got to do is check which one is 3/4. Jazz? You think it is D. What makes you think that it is D? Okay. So you went down how far? From 6 down to 0 is negative 6. And you went this way how far? It's 8. So my rise is negative 6 over 8. Now, would Mrs. Bad Crumble ever let you leave that fraction? What would Mrs. Bad Crumble say? She would say make it what? Negative 3/4. So it is indeed D. Everybody cool? All right. Number 3. This is also from Unit 6. Have a look at it. Talk to your neighbor. See if you can figure out A. This is A. This is B. This is C. That should have been green. And that is D. Whatever. Quality. Recording, go Michael.
I figured out the y-intercept was negative 6, and I just guessed that the x-intercept is 9.
Okay.
So I guessed A.
So Michael is saying A because he says the y-intercept equals negative 6. Why do you know what the y-intercept is?
Because I put it in the
Point-slope form? Or slope-intercept form? Slope-intercept form. So Michael went 2x plus 18 equals 3y. Sorry, 2x minus 18. Minus 18 equals 3y. And then he divided by 3. Right? So he knew the y-intercept was negative 6. So it had to be A or C. Right? Right? It had to be A or C. Now, x-intercept is 9. If the x-intercept is 9, is there a y value? No. So this is 9, 0, isn't it? Well, here's my equation, right? We already know the y-intercept is negative 6. So the x-intercept is 9. So that's 2 times 9 minus 3 times negative 6 minus 18 equals 0. What's 2 times 9? 18. What's negative 3 times negative 6? Positive 18 minus 18. Well, 18 minus 18 disappears. Does 18 equal 0? So can it be A? No. Let's check here. 2 times negative 9 minus 3 times negative 6 minus 18 equals 0. What's 2 times negative 9? Negative 18. Negative 3 times that? Positive 18. Minus 18 equals? Did that work?
Yeah, but it's still negative 18.
That goes away. Now negative 18 equals 0. So did that one work?
No.
So what's going on? Michael has said that the y-intercept is negative 6. Is he correct?
Yeah.
2x minus 3y minus 18 equals 0. 2x minus 18 equals 3y. 2/3 x minus 6 equals y. So we know it has to be one of those. So where did we go wrong when we were subbing these in? Because I assume that's what everyone did, right? They saw 9 was an x and 6 was a y, correct? What is this point really? It's 9, 0, isn't it? What is this point really? What is this point really? 0, negative 6. What is this point really? Now, x, y. So what has to go up here? 9 and 0 or 9 and 6? 9 and 0, because that's the x, y. So, 9 goes in there. What's 2 times 9? 18. 0 goes in there. So what happens to the y? It goes away. 18 minus 18 equals 0. Is that correct? There you go. It's A. Well, why did we screw up? Because you guys saw x and y. You forgot that every point already has an x and y. Everybody good? Okay. Next question. Another graphing question. You will notice that on this year's provincial, it's a 60-question test. The first 4 questions was graphing. Why? Because it's important. Oh, sorry, guys. There. Okay, so we have a guess of A. What did you do to come to that guess? Who's going?
If you get x by itself, then it would be positive y and then negative.
So if you get x by itself, you want x by itself or y by itself? You move the y. So you got x plus 3 equals y, right? Do we recognize that? Do we recognize that? Does that tell us some information when y is by itself and there's no brackets? What does it tell us? It tells us a slope of positive 1. Does this have a slope of positive 1? I went down and that way, negative, positive. So it can't be A. So can it be B? No, because B is also negative. It has to be one of these two. It is D. Why? Because the Y-intercept was positive 3 and a positive slope. Everybody good? So now, did the back corner start right? They put it into this form. They did it perfectly, right? But then they couldn't remember what this form meant. So what are your options? Let's say you don't remember what this form means. But you do know x plus 3 equals y, correct? That's an x, right? That's a y, right? What is this graph made up of? X's and y's. What if I pick that point right there? What is that point? That is 1, 4, correct? The 1 represents what letter? X. What could I write there? 1 plus 3 equals. The 4 represents what letter? Y. What could I write right there? 4. Is 1 plus 3 4?
Yeah.
So it had to be D. This is a problem that I see all the time with both grade 9 and 10. You tell us that you understand that this is an X and a Y. And you tell us that you understand that this when it shows up, this up here, you tell us that you understand that this makes a line. And you tell us that you understand that lines have x's and y's. But then you can't make this connection. xy, xy. That's not graphing, that's not graphing, that's not graphing, that's not graphing. That's that kind of graphing. That's not that important. Still not that important. 17. Have a look at it. How do I find slope? What is every slope? Rise over run. So if I pick any point on the graph, and I can only go in two directions, up and down and left and right. How do I get back to this point on the graph, to another point on the graph, if I can only go up and down and left and right? I could either go right and up, yes? Or what's my other option? Up and right. What direction is up? Positive. What direction is right? Positive. What direction is right? What direction is up? Slope is rise over run, correct? Rise is up and down. What do you notice about both of the up and downs? They're positive. What do you notice about both of the side to sides? Positive. What's a positive number divided by a positive number? Positive number. So it has to be A or B. Right? Where is the Y-intercept? What is the Y-intercept? It's the starting point. What else is it?
It's on the Y.
It's the point where the line crosses the Y-axis, correct? So it is right there, is it not?
Yeah.
Is that a positive or a negative number? Negative. So which answer is it? B. Okay? Notice every single one of you nodded and seemed to understand every single thing I said there. Right? Every single thing. So what's the only thing you need to do? Put it all together, right? Okay. Which of the following describes a graph with a slope of 0? What is a slope of 0?
The straight run.
Is it that or that? Which one is more fun to ski? Which is the only one you can ski? The vertical one. But is that skiing?
No.
What is it?
Falling.
Falling. So it's this can't be a slope of 0. So it has to be this, yes?
Yeah.
So now describe that to me. A slope of 0 is rise over run. Well, if I start here and end here, what is the thing that hasn't happened?
The rise is
I have not risen, have I? So what is my rise?
Zero.
Rise equals 0. What happens to the run as I go that way? It is getting bigger. Or it's getting smaller. What's the important part? The rise is 0. Where over here do you see a rise of 0? B. That's trig. That's trig. That's... Ooh! 21. Great question.
what's true?
Trigonometry. Sine, cosine, tan.
Okay, got it.
What does that equation look like? Can you make that look like something you have seen lots of? What would it be? I'm talking about graphs. What do graphs have? X's and Y's. Which is the X? Is it the independent variable or the dependent variable? Independent. Which is independent? T or f of t? T. So isn't this y equals 9.5x minus 57? Isn't it? Great. I want the horizontal intercept. Which is horizontal? X or y? X. So I need the horizontal intercept. What do you know about that value? It's going to be x, what? X0. What letter does that 0 represent?
Y.
Y. What letter do you see right there?
Y.
What number can I write right there?
0.
0 equals 9.5x minus 57. Can you solve this?
Yeah.
How? Algebra. What's your job? Get x isolated. How do I get rid of this? I move it over here. 57 equals 9.5x. Now what? Divide by 9.5. You're going to need to do that with your calculator. X equals what? What does x equal? 6. All right? So I know it's 6. So what options there could it be? It's going to be A or C, correct? Which one? C, because X was T. 6 T-shirts. C. Everybody understand? Put this in general form. You've seen that question. Do you have to know what general form is?
Yes.
You have to know what general form is? You have to have that memorized? It's in your data booklet. You'll get it, Ayaka. The data booklet is something everybody got on the first day. You will get it with your test. So will everybody. There is the data booklet. There are all the forms. Notice they are not named. I do require you to be able to identify them. Which one is general form? That guy. So I need what do I know about this guy? What is different from that guy to that guy? I need everything together and can't be a fraction. And what do you notice in front of A? A is positive. So, is my X positive right now?
No. Yeah.
So should I touch that X? No, I want him positive. Is Y with the X? So Y needs to move, doesn't it? What happens to Y when it goes over? So everybody should be good to there, yes? What is the last step to make this look like that? No, that's what you're going to do. What is your last step? What is wrong with this? You can't have a fraction, which means you have to get rid of it. In algebra, you get rid of things by doing the opposite to what is written on the page. What math is happening here? Divide. What is the opposite of divide? Multiply. If I multiply this side by 4, what must I do to this side? Same thing. 4 times 1/4 is x, minus 4 times y, plus 4 times 2, 8. And where's the answer? D. Which of the following relations are equivalent? I have 3 different relations there. One's a graph, 2 are equations. Which ones are the same? How could you do this? You have 2 options. Talk to your neighbor. I didn't record any of this. Is that in a form to give me slope? Is it? No. Can I get it to a form that would give me slope? What does an equation look like that gives me slope? Y must be by itself. So if I get y by itself, will I know the slope? What has to move?
4x.
The 4 has to move over. So 7y will equal what kind of 4? Negative 4x. Do I even care about the 10? I only want the slope. Do I care about the 10?
No.
Nope. Now how do I get y by itself?
Divided by 7.
So what's the slope?
Negative 4 over 7.
Negative 4 over 7. Okay, that's pretty good. There's obviously more, but
Tomorrow's accumulated, right? Tomorrow.
1 second about that. That's why I'm stopping right now.